You're watching a video tutorial on the Library Manager and the extra features that you can add to music files. With this example, we're going to go to Michael Jackson's Thriller, in which of course you have access to the cart number as well as other extra information in the song card information. But let's talk about the cart number, title, artist, album. That's all standard, and that typically comes with the MP3 tag information. You'll also want to give it a type M if it's a music file, type S if it's a spot. The other types are up to you. You can also enter in tagged text information. This is important information for using when you're voice tracking. So I'm just going to enter in some standard information about Thriller. And then when I click on Save Changes, when I go to a voice track, I will have that tagged text information available for when I'm doing the voice track. You also have total length of the song, as well as start date and stop date for when it can play. And that's used with the start and kill date feature. I can also categorize the music here for the DigiLink HD music category system, as well as give it back-to-back information such as gender, tempo, fade, texture, mood, and basically make it so that the same gender doesn't play back-to-back or the same tempo doesn't play back-to-back, that type of stuff. I can also enter in the correct year information here, since it was actually the song was done in 1982. I'll just enter in the correct information and click Save Changes. So once I've done that, there's some extra information here, which is start time and end time. Start time is a custom start time for the song, so in a way it's like trimming the audio file without actually trimming it. When I click on play, you can hear it cued out the cue player, which is the PC sound card, and when I click on mark, this is going to be the custom start time. So instead of actually trimming the song, the automation will always play based on the start time and forget the beginning, the first 9.2 seconds in this example. Same with the end time. So if I wanted to end early, say 11.4 seconds early, it'll end at that time. Now if I click on the default, it'll go back to the last save change that I made. So I click on default and yes, and you'll notice it goes back to the zeros. Now end time to voice is used for voice tracking and is important for overlaps. You'll want to set the end time to voice to a point when, say, the voice of the main vocals come on, so that way it cues the DJ, yeah, I shouldn't be talking over this portion of the song. EOM is the start time of the next song for the overlap, so again, to set the overlap, just simply click on play and then click on mark. And so in this case, at the last 3 seconds of the song, it's going to start the second track. So the EOM is very critical to setting that to a proper decibel level. Now you can auto set it by clicking on EOM, and it'll do it based on a decibel level of 40 dB and automatically set it for you. You can also set a custom volume level. This is good for mostly like music beds. If you wanted a music bed or a song to play exclusively at a different level. But I'm going to go ahead and put it at 100%, which is the default. But you can also fade in the audio and fade out the audio. So if you know that you do want the first 5 seconds for it to fade in, you can set that for the song, and so every time it plays, it'll have that custom fade in time. Go and click on Save Changes here, and then I'm going to cue the audio file and listen to it as it has been set up. And let's say I like it, so I'll just go ahead and keep it. You can also adjust the volume of the cue player by clicking on that volume speaker. You can also set an auto edit where basically it's going to normalize and trim the silence at the beginning and end of the song, which is a really useful feature. You can also edit the file using a waveform editor where you can trim the beginning and end, and you can auto normalize it as well. And then this is also where you're going to want to delete the file. You should never delete the audio file from the library folder. You should always delete it from within the software. And if you click on the delete file button, it will delete it, and it'll recognize the changes. And this concludes the video tutorial for the Library Manager and the extra features for music.